Tony Khan blasts AEW locker room for shameful leaks. We have an Adam Cole injury update and a major name is training for a WWE return. More on those in your morning news right now. So Adam, did you see Forbidden Door?
I've seen the highlights so far. I got to sleep last night, which was wonderful.
I've only seen one match as we're sat here right now, but the general consensus seems to have been a very, very positive show. So
people are buzzing about it, considering the hype was there, but people were a bit worried about the card. I saw Justin, our writer, saying this is why I love pro wrestling, which is lovely.
I know, no praise higher than that from Justin. It's over here at Cultaholic. But we have some controversial news via Tony Khan in the post media scrum thing after the event, because after Will Ospreay tweeted, "Hey though, Orange Cassidy, I've got a fancy coat. You're a lazy so and so." Orange Cassidy replied saying, "Oh, you might have a fancy coat, Will Ospreay. I might make a change for Forbidden Door, something on a similar level to a $10,000 coat." And a lot of people seem to speculate that because obviously when he got the Pixies theme in AEW, it wasn't what he had on the Indies way back in the day. So the rumouring innuendo was, as I struggled to get the words out my mouth this early in the morning, is that he was going to get his old independent theme back for this event. But Tony Khan seems to have suggested that leaks put this big re-debut for this theme to an end.
It looks like it. Talking on the media scrum, Tony saying there were like 100 people sitting in the stands at Daly's place when Amanda Huber told us that Brody was sick. I know there's a lot of new people here since then, but there are a lot of people here, and a lot of them are the same people, even though there's a lot of new faces, and no one said a word. So he's talking about the leaks here that have been coming out, and there's been a lot of them in AEW. We do tend to hear more backstage stuff from AEW, I would suggest, than WWE. He continues, so when it's something life or death, I trust the people backstage, but I've learned around a lot of the stuff, it just leaks. It's like really shameful. People shouldn't be doing it, and that's one of those ones where it screwed up what would have maybe been a pop. The fact that it even came up was dumb, so it certainly, as you suggested there, looks like it was going to happen, but he's gone, no, you've ruined it now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because obviously his old theme, Jane, by that there band that I've forgotten right here as we're sat here now.
Jane?
The really old song, 1979, Jane. Something like whatever
Bare
it was.
Naked Lady.
ABBA. Yeah, it would have been nice to see that back because for me the Pixies just doesn't fit Orange Cassidy.
It's a bit too. It feels a bit forced. Maybe it's a bit too in your face, isn't it? Oh, where is my mind? Okay, yeah,
I'm a lazy boy. Yeah.
People said the same about Moxley's though, didn't they? Wild Thing. Oh, because he's mental, isn't he? He's crazy. I quite like it though.
I prefer his old one.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, potato, isn't it? We also have some unfortunate news from Forbidden Door last night because during that four-way match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Adam Cole appeared to get injured. A lot of people on the Twitter machine were saying it was some sort of shoulder injury. However, Brian Alvarez has tweeted out this morning, Adam Cole's injury believed to be a concussion, wishing all the best to him. The curse continues. Jesus Christ, this show was cursed.
AEW is cursed right now. Yeah, you're right. Another one bites the dust. Hopefully he won't be out for too long because they've lost a lot of big names, haven't they?
There was a sign in the sort of background of the hard cam shot that was saying best wishes to, and all the wrestlers injured. And it took up an entire, I don't know what the size paper was, it was huge though, and the entire paper was filled. But a lot of people are sort of saying that when Okada hit Adam Cole with the Michinoku driver, that's when the injury went down.
It looked like that, and then the finish wasn't all there as well.
It was very abrupt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it didn't work out, and obviously his head wasn't in it. Hopefully, if it is a concussion, and it looks like it is, according to Alvarez, that he'll be out for a little while, allowed to properly heal up. You got to take these things seriously, obviously. So hopefully he won't be away for too long.
And if you want a play-by-play rundown of what happened in that match without watching the entire match, head over to the channel now because Jack the Jobber has a What Happened At video where he tells you what happened in a condensed period of time. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful. You don't have to buy it anymore. Just watch Jack.
Speaking of more injured AEW people, we have an update on Jungle Boy's injury, which apparently happened during that ladder match last night. I mean, I'm sat here thinking that Jungle Boy is merely suffering from a broken heart after Christian just went all weird on him, didn't he? Held a grudge for over a year and then just went like that to his mom and kicked her son in the balls.
That promo. Yeah. I saw this thing. It was like Edge needs to say 1,000 words. Christian just goes, "Yeah, your dad's dead." Anyway, the update is following that match. It's a shoulder injury, says Dave. I don't know 100% if it is from the ladder match, but that would make sense. I know it's a shoulder injury. There's no word on how long he's going to be out, but hopefully he won't be out for long either.
And hopefully it isn't going to be long because it was really interesting to see Luchasaurus, who at the start of AEW was saying, "I'm a dinosaur dinosaur with a master's degree. I'm a very clever man. He's now gone back to sort of being a big dinosaur that goes, huh, and now Christian sort of hoodwinked him, as we saw in last week's Dynamite, and aligned himself with Luchasaurus. So how this is going to play out, I've got no idea, because one half of the feud isn't there.
Yeah.
I thought Luchasaurus would have been fighting Jungle Boy's battles for him.
I guess it's sort of good timing, because you can give all the screen time to Luchasaurus and Christian, and then big triumphant return for Jungle Boy. But yeah, hopefully he's not out for too long. We just don't know how serious it could be. That could be like a 2-week thing. That could be a 4-month, 6-month thing. Yeah. Who knows?
Now, a lot of people say that Jungle Boy is the future professional wrestler. Another future star in the world of professional wrestling is Logan Paul. What's Logan Paul been doing, Adam?
Logan Paul's been training for his WWE return. He tweeted a couple of pictures. One of him hitting some sort of splash on a crash test dummy, and then the other one, it looks like he's hitting a senton of some sort. He's being supervised there by Sugar Shane Helms as well in the picture.
He's not standing back, though, which is a bit controversial.
He's done that with little eyes. WWE retweeted it with little sideway eyes as well. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think he was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Like he's very, very good. I totally get why they turned him babyface right at the end, but hopefully he comes back and he's heel straight away.
It's going to be interesting, because apparently that was written into his deal, said he wanted to come out of WrestleMania a babyface, but his performance at WrestleMania was very much a very, very, very good heel performance. But it looks like after what happened at WrestleMania, maybe he could be training for this is just me speculating bollocks, by the way, he could be training for a SummerSlam match against The Miz, where you would assume, just because wrestling fans are the way they are, there's not a story that can be told where The Miz wouldn't be the babyface there for my money.
I would be. I'm not like a fan of Logan Paul outside the ring. I think he's probably he's a very, very intelligent man. He knows totally what he's doing and everything. But just given the fact that he gave it his all, I wouldn't be adverse to cheering him. If he came out, I'd be like, yeah, go on. You have a really good match again. Go on, you can do it.
He's a natural heel.
He is a natural heel, yeah. He's stronger, but so's The Miz. The Miz babyface stuff is not great.
Who wins? Does Logan Paul pin The Miz at SummerSlam? So?
Yeah, he will do, yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Cat among the pigeons there. You would have said, could you imagine Logan Paul winning a title?
24/7? Maybe. What would you put on him?
Intercontinental. I'll be the man at Big Gunter. I'm joking. I don't know. Let's see how the US title's going. I mean, Theory's got it at the moment. It's risen in prominence, I would say, while he's been holding it and getting on TV a bit more, rather than the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura holding it and disappearing off the face of the earth while they've got the title around their waist.
It just won't be around long enough, rather, for a title, right? He'll come back for Manias and SummerSlams, and that's it, isn't it? I don't think he needs a belt.
I watched the True Geordie podcast with Logan Paul, right, because I was bored bollockless, right? And he's going to make $5 billion off his water with KSI. So doing stuff like this, he doesn't have to.
$5 billion?
In 3 years, they were saying projected worth of $5 billion. They've got this water called Prime or something. $5 billion. We're in the wrong game. Let's get some water out.
I'm not convinced. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he'll be very wealthy from suckers buying his crap water, but... Yeah,
I'm just saying, I reckon they've made certain promises to him in terms of what he does in WWE. I reckon he could be up there, because he doesn't have to be here, does he?
No, of course he doesn't. I guess it increases his exposure and people talk about him even more, but you're right, he doesn't need to do it. I think he's probably got a bit of a love for it at this point. Fair play.
Fair play to him. Another celebrity who, of course, is intertwined with the professional wrestling world is Bad Bunny. We haven't seen Bad Bunny for a long, long while, but Damian Priest, his lovely friend and or family member, we're not quite sure at this stage, are we?
No, not clear.
He's been speaking about Bad Bunny, hasn't he, Adam?
He has. NBC Sports Boston. He spoke to them and said, it just comes down to Bad Bunny having a perfect time in his schedule. If he has that perfect time and he's not doing anything, he's going to move to Florida just to train and completely invest all of his energy and time into this. He's not somebody that just wanted to come in and then leave or just promote something. He wanted to get invested. If he gets that time again where he could devote himself, I believe that we will see Bad Bunny in the WWE ring again. Another just proper natural, eh?
WrestleMania 40 main event. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. You heard it here first. I mean, it's fair play. It's another person who just clearly loves the wrestling, wants to be involved in the wrestling, and isn't going to half-arse it when they do get involved in the wrestling.
Totally, I'm well up for seeing him again. I'm sort of, I don't want to say I'm past the point of complaining because, it's taking somebody else's spot away. I think if somebody's actually invested, shows the passion for it, and then puts on a really good match and increases interest in the WWE product, I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. I don't want to complain about it too much anymore. If I find it entertaining, then grand. And I find both of those tremendously entertaining.
That's the thing. We can't have people like, because I don't want to crap on the guy too much, but Tyson Fury, when he came in and had that match with Braun Strowman in Saudi Arabia,
Banger.
it was clear he hadn't really prepared for what was to come. But these two lads, if they're going to throw themselves into it completely and keep up with the I know you can throw things like choreographed around and this, that, and the other, but if they're going to keep up with the wrestlers, get them in there.
Yeah, totally. And it's not a new thing either, isn't it? It happened massively with the Rock and Wrestling era. You had it with Kaufman before that. It's happened for a long, long time. I guess maybe the frustration with WWE booking sometimes means that people are just bound to complain about this more. But yeah, we got Twitter as well, haven't we? And it's just whinge. What a downer, what a Debbie Downer. Anyway, we're grand. WTF?
Yep, later today, probably a short video. I've watched just up to the first match and the pre-show. Not much to report on so far. So it's probably going to be a 2-minute video.
We'll do it as a short.
All the best.
Right. See you in a bit.
Goodbye.
Take care. Goodbye.